Hi, welcome back to Scale Modeling Twins. Today we're going to have a look at an inbox review. This is Hella Kit, Canadair CL-415. This is kindly donated by the good people at Hobbyco, Australia's premier hobby store, having their 90th birthday year this year. So here we go. So this is a new re-release of the Hella Kit. Now, a couple of things I do like about this is there's no surprise here. They're quite prominent here in saying, the year of the mould manufacture in 1998 and a fully revised mould in 2021. So colours you need, they match up with the Hella colours, which are the Humbrol original colours, the enamels, and Revell colours there. But you could choose whatever colours you want, of course. They do have a thing where you can download the instructions on the website. I had a look at that. Although these instructions are very much on the website, they're a previous edition, so they're older drawings and all that sort of stuff. And in a couple of ways, that's a good thing. So let's see what you get in the box. Door hanger. Keep out model building in progress, or come in. Let me show you my model kits. That's pretty cool, like that. Big decal sheet. We'll have a look at that a little bit closer a little bit later. The instruction sheet. Oh, we've got paper as packaging instead of the normal plastic. That's not bad. I don't mind that. Let's see. We've got one sprue, a second sprue. Clear parts are in a separate plastic bag. That's pretty good. Yeah, smaller sprue there, and I guess there's one more. Yes, there is. There we go. So let's have a closer look at each one of these. Okay. So this is carried over from the 215, which is the earlier one. So the Canadair CL-215 had radial engines, and this is them there. They're still there, and they were replaced by this one, upgraded to the 415, remanufactured, and all that good guff. So now it's got turboprops. So it's that is the main difference, but there's also these extra winglets and these directional fins to help with the low speed maneuverability of the aircraft as it's scooping up water and all whatnot. Turbulent airflow above bushfires and stuff, so that came in handy. Right, molded in white. The previous versions of this one, from what I understand, were a very bright yellow, which would help the earlier model, but white is a good base for any kit at all. So that's not bad. There's really, I can't see any flash on that at all. That's pretty good. There's quite a lot of raised rivets. Actually, that's good because it's meant to be. So that's all right. It's not bad. I like that. Second sprue. This is the winglets. Yeah, pretty decent. Do like that. Let's go. The main fuselage halves. There we go. It's, again, raised rivets all the way down. So I guess I've never seen one of these aircraft close up. They're not in Australia, but from what I understand, yeah, they're pretty popular. Canada, US, Italy, Greece, France, a number of British countries have these in their emergency services. It's a big fin on it for the directional stability. These are the nacelles for the newer engines, the turboprops, so they're pretty cool. That's all very cool. Interior detail. A couple of longerons, and that's all there. That's pretty good. I don't think you'll see much once it's all closed up. These windows aren't very large. You've got a fair open glazed area at the front there, but most of the clear parts were painted, not left clear. The last main sprues is there's no real problem. If they were connected or not, I don't think it would be a difference because there's no sort of problem with that. I think with the packaging, the main thing they might want to look for is those struts here, the landing gear struts sit rather proud of that. So that they're quite thin at that point. I think they could break off if it's not packaged well, but mine was. There's no problems at all. These are rear seats. Oh, that's cool. With fabric. Do like that. Of course, the props are, oh, they're feathered. Front and back. Oh, I'll turn that around. There we go. Yeah. So they're all there. Yeah, there's no sort of fault with any of these parts. Little probes, antennae, it's all there. Let's open up this clear bag. Ooh. It's a problem. I realise my blade is in the next room, so I use a ceramic blade. Oh, yeah, it's quite clear. So that's not bad. There's no distortion there at all. I do think, oh yeah, these are nice sort of observation windows, or bubble windows where the observers can stick their head out to see how everything's going. Same with, oh, these are the leading edge landing light lenses in the shape of the leading edge, so they're funky. Yeah, there's no problems with that at all. You can see it's got molded in overhead lining for the cockpit there. So the only glazing you'll have is a little bit on top there and the way around the front there, but the top will be coloured the same as the fuselage. Decals. Have a look. Oh, okay, nice. It's got, oh, it must be an upgrade from the earlier versions because it's got EFIS, Electronic Flight Instrument System, as opposed to the earlier one. That would be the anti-glare paint in front of the canopy. I think what I'll do for there, instead of trying to get that to conform to the shape, I'll just cut out the 3 and the 9 and paint it black myself and then stick the 39 on top there. Overwing walkways in grey. Canadair labels, yeah, Canadair CL-415. This is obviously, as you could read, the French Sécurité Civile. These would be the doors that open up, and as it's aquaplaning or whatever, it sucks up the water there. Now, from what I understand, the main tanks for this are directly under the wing. So as it's scooping up, flying along, I don't believe it affects the center of gravity at all. Let's see if that goes there. Oh, yeah. They're the tanks there, the header tanks. Oh, yeah, that's in the center of the wing section. Yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, so the main section for the water is under the floor. These are the header tanks where they can have a bit of foam in there and mix it with the water when it deploys and everything else, from what I read. That seems all right. I think I probably enjoyed building this one. Yeah, so like, I can't see any fault with the decals, with any of the plastic whatsoever. Let's look at the instructions now. Fairly thin booklet, but glossy. How many pages we got? Ooh, 11 pages. Right, bit of a history on the inside of the booklet there. Oh, okay, so yeah, I might as well read it out. 1969, the Marinier base received 2 models of the new aircraft, the Canadair CL-215, specially designed for forest firefighting. The efficiency and rapidity of the Canadair is due to the fact that it can reload with water from the nearest available sheet of water, in which case the water is scooped in by hydroplaning at a speed of 110 kilometers an hour, a retarding product being added to the water. The French Sécurité Civile took delivery of the first CL-415 on the 9th of February 1995. It was immediately distinguishable thanks to the fins mounted on the wingtips and additional fins on the tail. However, the biggest difference over its propellered power predecessor was the two new turboprop engines. There you go. So that's all there. The colours, yeah, in French first, the second line is English, and of course German is the third one. So you've got jaune brilliant, yellow gloss, or gelb glänzend. Okay, so one thing to observe here is you've got the standard paints there, but then you've got mixes here. So you've got M1 is 1 drop of 40, which is the pale grey, and 1 drop of the 85, the cool black. The M2 is 4 drops of grey and 1 drop of black. And the M3, 3 drops of grey, 2 drops of yellow, 1 drop of interior green, which is grass green matte, basically interior green, British interior green. Step 1, turboprop engines. This is interesting. So looking at the earlier instructions for this was a later step. It started with most things as it does, building up the flight deck. But it doesn't matter which order you can do that. You can do those first and put them aside. These are all quite clear. The earlier ones were not printed in color. I do like the way that they print these in color, so you can just sort of say, oh, that's got to be green, that's got to be gray, and off you go. That's quite clear. Same with the yellow and the red and everything else. I think these are quite neat. So you see it there. Yeah, you're building up the floor, sticking the two fuselage halves together, vertical stab in place, turning the page. There we go. Not even sure what they are, but they go behind the scoop doors, whatever they are. The main undercarriage, you've got starboard and then the port. The wing, top and bottom, including the flap hinges. That'd be a pitot probe, most like. Certainly, maybe a temperature probe. Yeah, that'll all be yellow. Red wingtip. Over again, same for the other wing. Stick the two wings on to the center box section, the wing box. Canopy in place. Main gear doors, outer floats, horizontal stab. Optional would be a ladder. I don't believe it'll fly with that ladder there. I think it would just sort of clip in, clip out, like so you can just climb up and walk over wing, do inspections and whatnot. The last step is, yeah, little bits of antennae. This is VHF antenna. These would be the localizer for instrument landing system. The glide slope bang in the nose. These are the vertical stabs. This has got a fixed metal bank, the name of it, slat on one side to oppose the precession of the propeller wind airflow passing over the horizontal stab there, giving it more direction, more authority. And then the painting guide at the bottom. Now, looking at this, I think what I would do, seeing I need to paint the wingtips red, these upper and lower stripes here, red with a white bit through them, I think instead of using the decals supplied, which are quite long, so these would fold, these would fold around the wings themselves. So yeah, they're twice as long as the wings, so that would wrap around, go underneath or on top, whichever way you do it. Instead of doing that, because these have so many rivets sitting proud and everything else, I think the way I would do that is just mask it up. Paint it white, then mask up the white. Paint the red, mask up the red. Paint the yellow. A big tip, if you're thinking about building one of these or anything that's yellow, yellow is an awful color to paint if you're going to paint it over grey primer or anything at all. So what I tend to do, and what I find works really well for me, is over the primer, I'd personally go a pink, a very bright pink. So this is Vallejo Game Air Squid Pink. Use that over the whole model. And then you'd only find you probably need just one coat of yellow over the top of that, and the pink bright color underneath will make the yellow pop more. I'll give you an example. So this is one I finished recently. That's yellow. So this is a Miles M52, the British. Broke that off, but that's yeah, pink first, and then one coat of yellow. And as you see it, it's nice and smooth, and there's none of the pink shining through, and there's certainly it doesn't look darker and all that sort of stuff like that. I think that works well. So I'll do the same with that. In fact, I think I'll use the same color because this is a Canadian aircraft. They probably would have used a British system of paints, I'd say. So this is a trainee yellow from the RAF, and I reckon that would be the way to go. Maybe it's like a German, like a yellow, a gelb is more sort of gold, orangey than trainee yellow. To give an example, from my yellow. There we go. So this is SMS paints. This is the RLM 04 gelb. So that's like a German yellow compared to the British trainee yellow, which is a little bit brighter. As you can see it there. So yeah, the German one versus a British one. I think I'll be going for the British ones. It's got more sort of life to it, I think. Or maybe there's a third yellow that you could choose. This is literally just yellow. In fact, that might be better. Yeah, there's quite a difference between those. That might be just yellow. I might go for yellow. And then with that, I'm thinking just a standard red. For those two, I think, yeah, that's bright. That'll match those two. There we go. Color decided. Standard red, standard yellow from SMS. But as I say, if I'll lay down a pink first, and that'll help the yellow. So there we go. So that's the Hella. Look, picking up the box. Canadair CL-415 in French service as a water bomber. I think it looks like an interesting kit. I think I'll get onto that straight away. So thank you very much for tuning in, having a look. I'll see how I go with this, and tune in again. We'll see how it ended up. Bye.